Marybeth.
Hello, MacGregor. Was wondering when you were going to decide to tag me in.
My apologies. Everybody, this is my wife, Marybeth, and I am her husband, MacGregor Dale, and we invite you tonight to join us on a spiritual cleansing. We can see in the comments if you have any issues you're working with. We can guide you on some meditations or some cleansing processes. And first, we're just going to begin. You can follow my wife. I'm a little cramped in the basement, which is where I'm quarantining. So I'll do some small modifications, but Marybeth will take you through an interpretive stretch. Everybody, I assume you have your yoga mats on and your comfortable clothing.
Yes,
with us. Let's begin.
Yes, and before we begin, MacGregor, if you remember, there was a few things we wanted to discuss first, like we talked about earlier.
I blew the candle out already. I apologize.
Well, did I say to blow the candle out yet, MacGregor?
Start at it, just do.
Great, he's lighting himself on fire again. Ladies and gentlemen, male, female, combined. The reason my husband, MacGregor, is down in the basement is because back around, say, Thanksgiving, we were at a farmer's market. And my husband, MacGregor, happened by someone who I think had a sniffle. And since that time, we thought it safest to quarantine because of the current situation.
Yes, Mary.
And so I apologize for my late arrival. You see, MacGregor was responsible for setting everything up, technology-wise, in the basement. Yet I couldn't seem to find it, MacGregor.
Okay, I think it's time to open our chi now.
Wonderful.
We'll start.
Let's start. Who's starting, MacGregor? Is it me or is it you?
I was going to announce your interpretive stretch, my dear.
Thank you, MacGregor. The first thing I would like you to do to breathe into this interpretive stretch is pick up the triangle that is located right next to your being. You see, mine used to have a rope tied around it that I would hold and dangle, but the last time MacGregor used it, it seemed to just disappear completely. No explanations whatsoever.
I'm sure there's some rope down here. I'll find it.
So what you're going to do is breathe in for one side of the triangle. Breathe out slowly for the other side of the triangle. And then for the third side of the triangle, I want you to make a moaning sound.
This is called triangular breathing.
Yes, with the moan. And here we go. Breathe in. And out. And moan. In my court-appointed anger management workshop. Remember that, MacGregor?
Yes, it's been very helpful for the most part.
One more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then a moan. So hopefully that cleansing breath brought you to a feeling of comfort, joy, and calm.
Very calm.
And now, stretch. I'd like you to rise to your feet, if you can.
It's a small.
Well, MacGregor, if you don't have the room, then do it from the floor.
Well, it's a small ceiling, but I think I can do it.
I'm sorry, was that you answering me back?
No, that was my back. It's a small space, but I think I can make the stretch. I just won't stand up all the way.
I wasn't sure about the tone. Okay, we want to start with our arms stretched out wide.
Oh.
Beautiful. We call this the landing aeroplane, and we come down with a swoop. And you can make the noise of a landing aeroplane if you'd like. to the bottom of your soul, and then rise up again like a flying eagle. That, coupled with the cleansing triangular breath, should put you off into the right aura of where you need to be. You're welcome.
Thank you. I can really feel that in the small of my back.
Yes.
Now, we're going to continue into one last stretch called the Loving Dove. But while we do, if anyone has some issues, some insomnia or anything cleansing from their lives, we're here to offer you some poses.
Yes, some poses, some other helpful, holistic remedies, if you will. And we are here to listen. We are here to give you our energy and take yours in return.
Oh, Marybeth, while living down here in the basement, I found that old remote control we were looking for.
I told you it was down there somewhere, and you said you looked, MacGregor. Apparently not hard enough.
Well, I sort of just fell from an upper shelf. Okay, now the Loving Dove.
You can do this from a seated position or from a standing position. If you're home with a soulmate and you want to do this as a couple's stretch or couple's pose, feel free.
You see, usually when we do this, I get up on Marybeth's back there, and she has me hoisted into the air, and I have my knee, well, my legs are kicking sort of like this, as though I'm flying for her. But I'm just in a very low ceiling place right now, so it's beautiful.
It's a flowing pose, if you see.
Right now we're going to do our first meditation.
Oh, wonderful. MacGregor,
Yes.
I don't have the ability to see all the fans watching. Can you see if any of our soulmates, our like-minded spirits, have watched in or dialed in or called in, whatever this technology is?
Yes, we have Alvin Urbano, and he would like to know a pose for single people.
A pose for single people.
Yes, maybe an alternate for Loving Dove.
Yes, thank you, I understand. Let me ask this, Alvin, is it I'm not familiar with him?
Yeah.
If the single person in particular has a fear of chipmunks.
Good question. Do you have a pre-existing fear of chipmunks, Mr. Urbano?
Because that will determine the proper pose that we prescribe.
My leaves no detail returned. He's silent. He must be microwaving a meal. He's silent.
He's silent. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to assume that the single person has a fear of chipmunks. Okay? And in that case, we don't want to bring about the chipmunk pose. We will go to the alternate, which is the hungry giraffe. Okay? So you're going to want to reach up like a giraffe to the tallest tree. And then you eat it. You eat it. You found a leaf. You found a leaf. And overjoy, you eat again from the tree. And you eat it. A leaf, and overjoy. And you should really feel the stretch in all of the vertebrae of your spine.
Yes. And for those of you following along in a couple, usually when Marybeth and I do that pose together, I sit on her shoulders and play the top of the neck.
Yes, you see, my husband MacGregor no longer has a working spine. I should say it's not a naturally born spine. Is that correct, MacGregor?
Well, yes, I am on the wait list for a spine transplant. We had experimented with some cleansings when the quarantine first began, and I evacuated my spine completely with the habanero pepper cleanse.
Yes.
That we tried, so I don't recommend that to anybody.
No. And so he is in fact spineless at this point. Well, for all that matters, he still has the ability to walk and pose.
I'm being held up by a series of spanks.
That's right. Very useful.
Yes.
But hopefully the giraffe pose will get you in the right mind and body and spirit. Oh, MacGregor, is that some herbal essence of tea I see you drinking?
Oh, yes. This is the, well, my wife is quite a tea connoisseur. Yes, I'm having my Mochu Picchu tea right now. We found this on a trip through the African safari on Etsy, and we ended up link after link. Then all of a sudden we were in Mochu Picchu, and then we were on to the beer steins, and I found this in, it was a long, I think we
went down what you would say a rabbit hole, and a few clicks later, a case of that fine tea was delivered to our doorstep, and I threw some down to the basement for MacGregor.
That's right, and with this, it came with a pillow.
Mm. It had a weird smell to it, so I tossed that down the basement as well.
Yes, it was just the case, but I managed to stuff it with a few things.
Wonderful, wonderful. I hope that helps our single friend and any other spirits, like-minded spirits out there, because I'm sensing some telepathically, MacGregor.
My wife's never wrong.
No, I'm never wrong, as we've learned. Long, hard lessons. For those of you who are getting... Ooh.
Request.
A request, yes.
Yes, Destiny would like to know if there's a proper pose for individuals with a chocolate chip cookie addiction. Oh boy.
Yes. You see, MacGregor and I have both suffered from a sugar addiction for quite some time, years ago. And I, for one, beat it and conquered it right away. MacGregor lingered and battled that demon for years to come, until, of course, we journeyed upon the right musical combination of sounds and noises to cleanse his spirit from that addiction.
That's right. It's been all carob ever since.
All carob chips ever since. That's right. So I will ask that you grab whatever you have in your home that can make a shaking noise, like a maraca, if you will. Perhaps a tambourine would work as well. And I want you to breathe in for the count of 75. Now you can count by 10s, you can count by 5s, you can count by 2s, or you can count by 75s if that works for you. And you're going to breathe in. And you're going to want to do that 4 times. I'm counting by 75s. MacGregor, are you doing it as well?
43.
Count faster, MacGregor.
75.
And by the 4th, your craving should have dissipated.
Oh, I can feel it.
You can feel it, MacGregor?
Yes, earlier I was craving a scone, and that craving is gone now.
It is now gone.
Yes, so no white flour for me anymore.
No, that's the devil. White flour is the devil, along with sugar. You're welcome, Destiny.
Marybeth, what other instruments do you have upstairs there?
I have all of them, MacGregor. One of them that you probably heard me banging on, my nightly ritual from downstairs. So many. Oh, here we go.
Very calming.
I lead my own drumming circle, and I do it in a way that will help you, your slumber, it will help your energy, and it will also help your mood. I run around the drum in a circle. And when I'm feeling agile, MacGregor, as you know, how do we tap it with our...
Yes, I've never quite mastered this one. I've been through 4 drums already.
A slight sprain.
While my wife taps out the beat, I'll be going through our chakra meditation. I'm just burning some sage, and whenever you're cleansing your chakras, you're going to want to have some sage burning to get that nice cream of mushroom soup smell in your home while trying to cleanse. Okay, first, breathe right into the first chakra, and you'll know it's your first chakra because it's the first one you get to when you breathe in. Let's think of the color green. Now, the triangle that my wife is playing, it should be releasing your second chakra and a little small part of your collarbone as well. I think you can feel that collarbone drop. Here we go. Now we're taking you through our second and third chakras. Drum not needed for this. And just breathe. Breathe into that part of your kneecap that's just on the inside where if you hit it the wrong way, you feel like it might pop off, but it probably won't. Just breathe right into that. People hold a lot of tension right there in that knee.
They're kneecap pits.
That's right.
The pit of kneecap.
Right.
Sorry to be critical and scientific, but that's what it's called.
I'm just going to bang these healing stones together.
MacGregor, I'm sensing another wounded soul out there. Have you finished the chakra breathing? I stopped listening halfway through.
Well, I only got to chakra 3, but I'm sure we can catch up later.
Take a pause for a moment. I'm sensing a question from a troubled soul coming into me telepathically, MacGregor. And that troubled soul wants to know what to do in the case of boredom during this pandemic.
Good question.
And MacGregor, one of the things I do for boredom is many tend to turn on the TV. Now, we don't own a TV here. What I tend to do is meditate. Go through a guided meditation, a guided journey, and that's more exciting than any television program one could ever watch. Right, MacGregor?
Absolutely. And while I've been quarantining in the basement, I've been doing my own little activities like purifying my own water, making oatmeal from time to time.
How about your bathing in the slop sink?
Oh, yeah, and taking care of the roach problem we had.
Wonderful.
Yes,
And for me,
excuse me?
oh, I'm sorry, MacGregor, was I not speaking? Thank you. And for me, sometimes I can hear him down there, and it's almost as if the sound of him killing the roaches or bathing in the sink of slop irritates me. And so what I will do is turn on some loud music, some loud choral voices, and run freely amongst the entire house upstairs, even sometimes outside in the yard. And that takes up a good hour, hour and a half. I'm sorry, were you speaking, MacGregor? Please continue.
No, well, Mr. Urbano would like to know where we can purchase the herbs. Amazon came out. Well, we grow our own sage and our own cedar leaf here in our backyard. So we don't know. We try to keep everything farm to table, or farm to medicine chest in our house.
That's right. And then I box them in these little boxes that look like packaged goods just for our own consumption. And it all works quite magically together when you blend the drumming with the tea and the vocalizations. You have a wonderful sleep, a wonderful journey during your day, and a restful experience.
Yes, so we're gonna close with a gratitude meditation, and I've made some
Yes.
ashwagandha tea.
Sure, yes. Wonderful. I'll grab mine as well.
We're going to have to sign off very quickly after this because it kicks in very strongly. We won't be conscious for much longer.
That's right. If anyone, if you have a hula hoop at home, I invite you to put that around your person so you can be in the center, in the circle of yourself.
Yes. Also, Miss Henry, a wet dish rag covering your nose and mouth would probably muffle the sound.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Thank you, MacGregor, for taking that one for the team.
I'm going to offer my meditation of being grateful when the day when I can rejoin my wife in the upper part of the house.
You just can't be too safe. It's right. Yes, and I will think about that day as well, MacGregor. And for now, we will take a sip together. Namaste.
Namaste.
MacGregor. And don't forget your breathing.
Ooh.
Warm in here.
Ooh, the tea is... Namaste, everybody.